We begin the day with the biggest military victory so far in the battle against so-called Islamic State. For the past 4 months, U.S.-backed forces have waged a campaign to retake the Syrian city of Raqqa from ISIS. Today, a general of the Syrian Democratic Forces announced that the fighting is over. In 2014, ISIS fighters took control of Raqqa, making it the capital of a new caliphate. But Raqqa quickly morphed into a capital of cruelty. ISIS rulers showed off to the world one atrocity after another. Women accused of adultery beaten before an audience of men inside a sports stadium. Public beheadings of Western hostages. And men accused of being gay thrown to their deaths from the city's tallest buildings. Raqqa, a liberated hell on earth, is now an urban grid of rubble, riddled with booby traps left behind by the ISIS fighters who managed to flee. Our first report tonight on a city freed but forever scarred.
A 5-month battle is over for these Syrian, Kurdish and Arab fighters. Backed by the United States, they killed dozens of IS militants in their final push. Raqqa is now a shell of a city. There's nothing left. We're near the end. We haven't seen any IS militants. We haven't seen any of them near the stadium either. I think the city will be fully clear of them in the next 2 days. Once all of the IS militants are gone from Syria, I'll go home. IS took control of Raqqa in early 2014 and made it the capital of its self-styled Caliphate. The militants imposed a strict interpretation of Islamic law and used extreme means such as beheadings and torture to quash those who opposed their rule. It became home to thousands of jihadists from across the globe after a call by IS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi to migrate to the Syrian city. However, in recent months, the so-called Islamic State has steadily lost territory in Syria and Iraq. The fall of Raqqa is a major blow to the militant group, but the extremists still control territory in neighbouring regions on the Iraqi side of the border. A long road lies ahead to heal wounds and rebuild the ruined city of Raqqa, despite these fighters' celebrations.
Well, the world knows what happened in Raqqa, at least to some degree, thanks to an organization of citizen journalists known as Raqqa is Being Slaughtered Silently. The group has documented the atrocities and the human suffering in the city. It has been called the most reliable source of information inside Raqqa. Tonight, the co-founder and spokesperson is with me here at the big table. I'm happy to welcome to the show Abdalaziz Alhamza. Abdalaziz, it's good to have you on the show. Yeah. You were born in Raqqa. You graduated from the university there. What did you think when you heard today that the city, or that the fighting against Islamic State has ended there?
Yeah, like as many people from Raqqa, I was happy in some point, but sad in the other, because it was not the scenario that was expected from most of the people. So it's true that ISIS was defeated, but the city was left completely destroyed. Thousands of people were killed during the campaign. So we documented almost 4,000 people have been killed during this battle. And so the campaign was not well organized, was the airstrike were not careful, the shelling as well.
The campaign to retake Raqqa.
Yes.
What do you know about the number of ISIS fighters who are still in the city? There are many estimates. Do you have any firm numbers? And what about the ISIS members who were allowed to leave in the deal that was made before the city fell?
Yeah, so the number of ISIS fighters who were in the city, there were like 10,000, but that was before the battle. And when the battle started, most of them flee to their resort, to Al Mayadeen.
And these are Syrian members of ISIS, right?
No, even
foreign members,
yeah.
okay.
But yeah, so most of them, they left early in the beginning when the battle started, and especially the foreign fighters. And what remained, a couple of fighters, and then at the end, there were almost less than 200. So
you say that tonight there's less than 200 ISIS fighters in Raqqa?
Yes, and it was not a specific or exact number about the fighter who remained, because many of them being killed, other they just disappeared, and US and the coalition, and the CF transferred a couple of fighters or like ISIS fighters or members to a specific jail. So especially the foreigners one.
Okay, let's talk about the past 4 months, this campaign to retake Raqqa. We know that there were numerous attacks aimed at at ISIS fighters, and in that process, we know that children, women were killed. We know that schools were hit, hospitals were hit. Has that been reported completely?
So for us as an organization, we were reporting about all that things. We were like working hard just to smuggle photos, videos, information. So, but for sure, like the international media coverage was not the same as our coverage. So, but it was like reported, but it had not that attention up to several reasons or like several things are going on around the world. So most of the media is busy with the Trump tweets as an example. So, which is like a big deal for them way more than what's going on in Raqqa.
I mean, do you think if Raqqa were to get a tweet by the U.S. president that it would actually, it would have helped the situation of the people there? Do you think it would have made a difference?
Yeah, for sure. It will like push or like draw the attention of the media to go and see what's going on there. So sometimes like having some other things can change the way how media are reporting about the things.
Yeah. Do you think that the coverage, I mean, has it been fair? Has it been accurate? I mean, for those of us who can't go inside Raqqa, I mean, do you think that the story has been reported as good as it could have been?
I can say yes and no. So today I can say yes because I've been doing interviews since 2 p.m. until now. So yeah, because like after the announcement and for the media, it's a huge deal. ISIS, capital like of ISIS, Raqqa was defeated from like the city. So yeah, like all the media started to talk about it. But like if you will check 2 days ago, it was not in the news.
Yeah, it's forgotten. We've got lots of pictures that have been coming out of Raqqa, basically a city destroyed. And maybe if we could just look at those, and maybe, you know, if maybe we'll see them on the screen here. Maybe if my producer can tell me, are we going to see those on the screen? Okay, so all right, we're going to try to show our viewers. There you go. We've got them on full screen now. These are the U.S.-backed forces that went into the stadium today, basically saying that the fighting is over. You know, Aziz, what goes through your mind when you see this?
Yeah, for sure. Like first, like I look at that stadium, like I know it in completely different way. So it's not that stadium that I used to go. And
how do you feel that when you see this?
Like I feel like happy, but I feel like more mad and angry in the same time because like me personally, I'm prevented to be there, not because of SDF and like the coalition.
Who are you angry with?
So I'm angry because like the way how the city was controlled, so like with all this death, with all this blood, and at the same time like about the violations. So children being recruited, forcing to join and fight ISIS, those who were able to survive ISIS, and then like burning houses, arresting, killing, all that things. So sometimes it should not be only like Islam like extremism, it might be like secular extremism. So talking about all that things that Raqqa citizens have been suffering from last 1 or 2 years from SDF, and yeah, the coalition, the international community couldn't stop SDF committing all these violations. So I was talking with my colleagues today, those who were like who left the city, like as the last people who left, and they were telling me like we were just leaving the city, hearing people shouting, yelling under the rebels, and we couldn't do anything.
They couldn't do anything. I mean, you came to Berlin. You're in exile here in Berlin. Do you think that you'll ever be able to go home again? Do you want to go?
I would love so. That was like my plan, and like for me, I was expecting that the first day that Raqqa will be liberated, I will be able to go back. But up to all that things and the way how the city is controlled, and up to SDF, for sure not. Like for us as an organization that was working on ISIS, documenting ISIS violations, we were like accusing to be ISIS supporters from SDF. So don't think so.
Abdalaziz Alhamza with Raqqa is being slaughtered silently. I mean, your work certainly is getting I think the attention it deserves tonight, for sure, Aziz. And we appreciate you taking the time to tell your story with us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.